As you're looking to buy a business, have you asked yourself, what is an applicable multiple that I should be using to buy this company? Like, if you're asking that question and you're doing online research, like, one, you could find so much online, and it is a great resource to start and understand what is applicable. However, there's so much misleading information. We at Peak Business Valuation write articles relative to what are applicable multiples, but we always put a caveat in there, a disclaimer that basically states that these multiples are not going to be essentially applicable to every situation. And having valued around 30 companies a week for almost 3 years and having valued over 8,000 companies in my time in business valuation, multiples range drastically. Like, I don't know. I feel like I should have a good grasp on a multiple for, let's say, an automotive business in the repair space. But there's so much that goes into deriving a multiple that it is sometimes crazy to think of. And so I wrote out a list of potential variables that impact the multiple applicable for an automotive business. And so let me go through those. So for us, and this is a short list, but a business valuation on our end takes time. It generally takes us about 2 to 3 weeks for a company doing less than 7 million in revenue. And a complete business valuation takes into account a lot of variables. It takes into account the assets of the business, the liabilities, the working capital needs, the capital expenditures, assessing the growth potential, assessing the socioeconomics of your clientele, looking at the geographic basis of where you're operating. If you're a national company versus you're in a city and you're in a brick and mortar. And so if you're an automotive and you're in the repair business, your demographic is going to be a radius around where you're located. Digging into the employees, digging into the management, how you're operating, how the seller is directly involved, how marketing campaigns are bringing in leads. There are many variables that come into play from a qualitative perspective besides looking at the financials, because ultimately the financials are your results for operating your business, but the qualitative aspects kind of determine your financial results. Because ultimately, if you are very customer oriented and you have a great reputation in the automotive repair space, then for instance, if your Google reviews, if you have like 920 4.9 stars Google reviews, you should expect your revenue, therefore your cash flow, to be better than an automotive repair shop just, I don't know, a mile, 2 miles away that is operating with 3.5 stars, 100 Google reviews. Like, there's going to be a direct correlation with your financial performance. And so ultimately, when we're looking at an automotive repair business and someone's asking the question, like, what is an applicable like cash flow multiple to buy this business at or to sell this business at, it's very difficult for us to answer that question, because all these qualitative factors, these variables and characteristics come into play to kind of support and help us understand the narrative behind the numbers, so that when we're looking and valuing an automotive repair business, we can see and tell what is directly influencing the risk associated with this cash flow that an individual or the seller is going to buy or currently owns. And it just influences the overall value of the business and therefore what the applicable multiple would be. And so I can very well guesstimate what an applicable multiple would be, but to me that is very misleading. And as a professional, even though I'm in gym clothes right now because this is the only time I can find time to film a video, I don't want to provide information that will mislead a conversation that has great implications on what you're going to buy or sell a business for. And so, therefore, I try my best not to provide any commentary. I could provide a wide range, but a wide range doesn't do any good. Like I could say, oh, you should be transacting at a 2 to 4x EBITDA multiple or a 1.5 to 2.5x SDE multiple. But what good does that make? It doesn't do any good for anybody. And the investments for a business valuation might seem expensive, but at the end of the day, what we're digging into as professionals is the inherent risk. We're digging into the cash flow. We're digging into whether or not like this is a worthwhile business to be transacting. If you're buying the business, like, is it worthwhile? Is this automotive repair business something that's worthwhile? Is the seller telling me XYZ, and is that the truth? Is the broker telling the truth? Like there are so many aspects that go into due diligence when buying a business or even selling a business, that having a business valuation or someone in your corner to help you understand kind of the why behind the purchase price or the value of a business is important. And that's why a lot of individuals reach out to us. So if you have questions about business valuation for an automotive repair business, reach out to Peak Business Valuation. That's me. Actually, it's me and 16 other people right now in 2025. Reach out to us. We love what we do. We love valuing businesses. It is fun. That's why right now, this week, we have around 32 business valuations going out. So it's just a fun opportunity and business that I have been a part of for the last 7 years. I love Peak. So if you want to reach out to us, my name is Ryan Hutchins. You can reach us at 435-359-2684, or you could visit us on our website at peakbusinessvaluation.com. We look forward to hearing from you and hope you have a great day.